It'll be okay.
It's all good. All right, we are live. All right, guys, I have been live with this amazing woman before, and I think many of you may have missed that incredible live that we did back, oh gosh, in like September. It was a while ago. But this is my friend Courtney Epps. She has the most amazing strategic mind ever. And when I heard her speak in August, I was like, she understands this industry. She understands taxes. And it's the first time I've ever in my life seen both of that happen, where they understand the industry of network marketing, direct sales, home-based business, and tax strategy. And so I wanted to share her with all of you, number one, because her saying is like you need to have a home-based business. You'd be crazy not to have a home-based business. And I think that is a huge stigma going on, like, oh, I don't have time for that, or I don't know what I'm doing, or it's not for me. But I want you guys to really just hear her out, but also some strategy she's going to talk to in the middle of all that if you listen close enough, you'll hear exactly how you, no matter what level of success you have, will win when it comes to home-based business, your success, and taxes. So Courtney, I'm going to let you kind of introduce yourself and start going.
Hey guys, it's good to see everybody. I have been knee deep in tax returns all day long. It's been crazy around here on Monday, but got corporate deadline coming up on the 15th. And so just to give you a little bit of background about me, I've been an accountant for the last 19 years. For the longest time, I hated it. Like I literally tried to do everything but, which is the reason why I kind of understand network marketing. I've literally I have owned an insurance agency and an accounting firm. I was in network marketing for about 3.5 years, and I made it to the top 1% in 2 different companies, and I loved it. But the thing is that I realized my superpower is freeing up money for people. And so what I did is combine what I'm very good at in the accounting world, and I utilized the network marketing, what I learned from network marketing, personal growth and development. And we have grown a massive accounting firm here. We've grown, we're a 7-figure accounting firm, which is pretty amazing. Only because we feed lots of kids. We feed about 8,000 children every single day, which is pretty amazing. And then we free about 3 children every single week with our through Operation Underground Railroad. So we do a lot of really cool things, and then we find money. We free up about $250,000 a week for people that didn't know that they overpaid in taxes. So it's super fun. And but what I really love to do is work alongside speakers, coaches, trainers, network marketers, and help people understand you literally would be brain dead if you didn't find a way to have some sort of home-based business, because you're overpaying in taxes at least $4,000 to $8,000 a year.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't know what you don't know. And I just, building a business, doing what I'm doing, and, hearing you talk about some of the small little things that I remember my accountant saying, oh, we can't write that off. But maybe it wasn't because he was thinking business versus home-based business. And I started to catch on to a lot of things that you were saying. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of things in my home-based business where I'm in my home office right now, inside my home, that I had never thought of as a tax write-off for my business because it was never brought to my attention.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I love teaching people. Most accountants will go out and say, okay, you need to spend this money, you need to go buy this car, you need to go buy these things in order to save money in taxes.
Right.
What I love helping people understand is that you can take your living expenses and then redirect those into business expenses. So you don't have to become, a millionaire. You don't have to have a lot of money in order to start a business. And we're not talking about you spending tens of thousands of dollars or even thousands more dollars than what you're currently spending. What we're saying is that by being a business owner, moving from the W-2 system. So I want you to understand there are 2 tax systems in this country. There is, most people believe it's for the rich and the poor, but it's literally one is for the W-2 employee and one is for the business owner. So as a W-2 employee, you get no benefits at all whatsoever. You don't even get to decide how much money comes out of your paycheck as far as taxes go. And then, but as you become a business owner, you literally get to take advantage of massive tax deductions because business owners create economy. Business owners create employees, and then that the employees trickle down, and then they end up paying taxes. And so when you understand that, why it would be brain dead not to own a business is because now when you move from being a W-2 employee to now I'm a business owner, my cell phone, my meals, my mileage, my business use of my home, all of the things that you were spending money on yesterday, nothing really changes. It's just now because you're attempting to earn an income with those things, it becomes a tax deduction. And when you understand that, it starts becoming fun. It starts like literally it becomes a game. So, I pick up the phone and I call Natasha and I say, Natasha, I want to share with you what I'm doing. And I go sit down with Natasha, and guess what? Yesterday, if we went to lunch and I was a W-2 employee, it was not tax deductible. But today, now that we're having lunch and I tell her what I'm doing, I get to write off 50% of my meal. I get to write off my mileage on the way to her. I get to write off my cell phone because I called her on it. I get to write off my internet because I needed it to run my business. Then on top of that, my business use of my home. So everything behind Natasha is now a tax deduction. So, I mean, she needs that in order to make her business look good. And so when you start understanding these things, it becomes fun. Taxes become a lot of fun when you understand that you get to decide how much taxes you really want to pay based upon the things that you want to buy in life. And what I say is the needs and the wants. Right. You get to have those things, and then you pay taxes. Whereas if you're a W-2 employee, you make your money, then you pay taxes, right? No choice on what you can get from that. And then after that, you get to buy some of your needs and wants.
Exactly. And so there was during your presentation, I've now seen it 3 times and it never gets old because there's always something you learn that I missed because I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't do that. And then I totally missed like 3 other parts that I wasn't doing yet. You guys, it's a blessing I met this woman and the people I've been able to introduce her to, but I want you to talk to them. You were talking about, you don't even have to, I want to talk to the brand new people, the people that aren't making a successful run in network marketing yet. And you had mentioned, going to sit down and talking, that's a write-off and things. But can you talk about like the difference just in dollar? And you guys, she's not gonna be able to pull up her spreadsheet and show you, but I can post a picture of it because it is so powerful to see from a W-2 to a W-2 plus a home-based business, the amount of money that you can save just by attaching your name to the company. Yes. And attempting to make an income.
Yes. So the biggest thing for me, and I guess just going back and just kind of explaining why I got so excited to start sharing this, is I was on my way. Actually, I had decided almost 3 years ago I was going to sign up in another network marketing company. And so me and my husband had decided once I got to a point in our business that it could kind of run on its own, that I could go back to network marketing because that was fun. And so I was on my way to Tampa, Florida, and Grant Cardone, I was listening to a webinar for him, and it said that the average household income made $60,000 a year, and they paid $14,000 in taxes. So what that means is 60 minus 14, that leaves them with $46,000 in take-home pay. Mm-hmm. And then from that, the cost of living in America is $53,000. And so I realized at that point, so you're literally working full-time, 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year to take 2 weeks paid vacation. And guess what? You're going in debt $7,000 a year. So luckily, I was in the network marketing business prior, and I knew that I could help people save between $4,000 and $8,000 a year in taxes. And that was just a minimum. And so when I understood that I could help people, then I realized, you know what, I can't ever go back to network marketing. I have to start focusing and teaching everyone in the network marketing industry why they need to keep people in long enough to win. Because guys, you can either overpay massively in taxes and continue to go in debt year after year after year and buy into this whole government theory that everybody needs 401k, which is a crock of crap. Okay. I'll just tell you that straight up right now. that you have to have health insurance or you're not going to make it. And then, and then on top of that, you have all this government scare stuff, right? To just keep you in that scarcity mentality. And it makes me sick because the IRS would literally lose $508 billion a year if everybody in America had some sort of home-based business. So there's no.
But they don't want us to have home-based businesses.
Exactly. So there's no wonder why everybody thinks that network marketing isn't real. Guys, it works the same way as being a broker for insurance, being a mortgage broker, being a real estate broker. It works exactly the same way. And so when you understand that, it's like, okay, the government doesn't want me to get rich. They want me to stay as a W-2 employee, so I continue to pay more in taxes. Then you start thinking for yourself and saying, oh, okay, now I can start this business on a part-time basis, low income, low money to get started, and I can completely and utterly change my life. But then along the way, you get the personal growth and development that is tax deductible, okay, which is a big deal, because I'm a platinum partner with Tony Robbins. I spent $85,000 last year to be a platinum partner with him. The biggest life-changing experience of my entire life. Is the best money I ever spent. Our business grew 10 times. And see, the thing is about your mindset. When you realize that you truly can have and do everything in life that you ever wanted to do, and you can help more people have more, do more, save more, give more, you can do all those things, but you can do it in the network marketing space. And so it's crucial to get people in this industry because it helps them push them out of the W-2 industry. But even if you just stayed as a W-2 employee and did this part-time and saved yourself $4,000 to $8,000 a year, imagine what that would do to your life over the next 15, 20 years. But then imagine what it could do for your family and friends who are struggling constantly. So getting involved is an amazing feat. And then on top of that, you get all these tax deductions, but then you can start making money. And then what people don't understand is like when you start making money, you're actually not paying more in taxes. Do you understand?
I just heard this. My husband doesn't want me to promote it any harder because then we go up in a tax bracket.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because you can buy a new car.
Right.
I got a Cadillac out here. I bought my husband. I told him on December 31st, baby, go buy me a car. I don't care what the car is. Just buy the car so we can get a $10,000 tax deduction. See, that's the kind of things that, we bought a new Suburban in October, $65,000 tax deduction that day. Okay. We hire our kids. That's $72,000 a year. We don't have to pay taxes on, nor do they have to pay taxes on it. See, guys, you just don't understand the system. See, as a W-2 employee, you're right. As you make more money, you go in a higher tax bracket, and it almost is a waste for you to continue to make more money. But when you become a business owner, so I'm making more money, but I'm also saving money in taxes, right? I get to write off most of these things that I'm spending on a day-to-day basis, and I'm not going up in a higher tax bracket. I'd have to make a lot more money in order to go up in a higher tax bracket. And so when you understand that, it becomes crucial to get in long enough to win. Once you start winning, then you can find other ways to save money in taxes. See, self-employment taxes, which is one of the biggest expenses that you have with being a business owner, that can virtually go away, or at least 80% of it, by setting up your business properly. Yeah. And so there's just so many things that you can do to save money. I mean, it's crazy, and it's so much fun because every day I get to do this. I get to save people money every day. I get to say, you overpaid in taxes by this much money. This is what we're going to do. We're going to fix it for you. And moving forward, we're going to save you all this money. And I just get to provide hope. So it's really fun.
I love it. Well, we got some questions coming in here. So we have, before we ask these questions, because we got a lot, how do we pay our kids? Like that's some questions coming up here. But this was a key component to a lot of people, myself included. I was lucky enough to already have an LLC, so it didn't affect me. But at what amount, when you start making X amount per month, you want to get your LLC, because that's a huge, huge tax helper. Oh my gosh.
Yes. So, and I'm sharing this to my page so so people can see it. So, once you get to a point where you're making $1,000 a month in gross income, then an LLC becomes really crucial for you. You know, I tell people if you're in a regular business like brick and mortar business, or you're just starting up from scratch, then it's crucial for you to get an LLC to begin with. But once you're in network marketing, the network marketing industry is pretty much done all of the work that you need to do on the front end. Like, you don't have to get business license. You don't have to go get all these things in place. You know, you don't have to get a retail license, all of that, that they've already handled that for you. So once you get to a point where you're doing $1,000 a month in gross income, meaning, you know, bring home, not bring home, but what the company pays you, that's when you want to get an LLC. Then when you get to a point where you're doing about $1,000 a month in net income, meaning after expenses, then you want to go another step and have an LLC treated as an S corporation for tax purposes. And what that will do is that will allow you to eliminate 80% of the self-employment taxes that you would pay. So kind of an explanation, because I think sometimes they hear it and sometimes it just completely goes over their head. So if you're making 50 grand a year in net income, you would pay $7,500 in self-employment taxes if you were at just a Schedule C on your personal tax return. Or if you were an S corp or an LLC treated as an S corporation, you would pay about $1,500 in self-employment taxes. So just that one thing would save you $6,000 in taxes, not to mention all the other things that you can put into place. So just understanding that is a huge deal.
That is huge. Like, I was just lucky, like, because I had my LLC, but I never used it in all the years in network marketing and creating the success I have. Never used my LLC for that. And you're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? Okay, so we have a lot of questions now when it comes to hiring your kids. At what age and what does that look like?
So you can hire your kids to do just about anything. My kids help clean up the house because I still have an office in my house. So we went from 13 employees in my house in September, and we had to move. So we moved to a brick and mortar location. But we still have, you know, they help me with bookkeeping. They help me shred papers. They help me scan documents. They go with me to events. They help me sell books. That, you know, so you can take them to events with you, and they can help pass out forms. They can help set up products. You know, I take my kids with me to personal development events, and they help, you know, help me collect information from people. So you can get them to do just about anything under the sun, anything that you would pay someone else to do. You can have your kids do it. Whether it's cleaning your house, whether it's being your personal assistant, doesn't matter, from anywhere. On top of that, you can pay them a reasonable salary. Anything that you would pay someone else to do, you can pay your kids to do it as well. And then I would just suggest you need to get a bank account. You need for them. You can have your name on it as well. You can put the money into their account, and then you guys can use it. So they could use it for karate, or they could use it for a wedding, or they could use it for college, or whatever they wanted to use it for. So we tend to try to make it so that we write off anything that we can't write off, the kids end up paying for. So, and they do legitimately work for us. And the more you keep track of what they're doing and how many hours they work for you, the better it is for audit purposes. But it's literally been held up in court at age 7. And that's been held up as precedent that you can hire your kids. Now, I've had my 6-year-old go on, and I'm like, baby, just invite. Just hit the invite button on Facebook. And as long as they can work and do something, then you can pay them for that. And then the younger they are, you can actually hire them as models to model on your Facebook page.
Yeah, like product and, you know, whatever. Like, I had Jax the other day. He was shredding papers for me, like all the shredding. He was just shredding.
Exactly.
And he thought it was fun. So I'm like, sweet, because I don't like it. Awesome. Okay, so there was another question in here. What are a few ways to keep up with your spending to get ready for tax season? I feel like I'm going through tons of receipts, the true March madness.
Yes. So, I mean, I would tell you that you need some sort of software. If I can give you any piece of advice, it is to treat your business like a business. You need some sort of accounting software. We do have a membership that is really great. It includes my strategy, and it also includes my software. And so that software pulls in bank statements, credit card statements, because if you're just tracking receipts, I can tell you, you will overpay in taxes. So you need to be going through bank statements and credit card statements to try to find every single thing that you could possibly write off as a business expense and pull that in. So the other part is the mileage tracker. So it's very important for you to keep track of your mileage, even if you're claiming actual expenses for your vehicle or mileage you're supposed to keep track. And so our mileage tracker will actually pull in your GPS location. It'll put the to and from address in so that and it'll tell you the mileage, so it can keep track of that for you. So that's really important.
Yeah. What is your app called?
So I have a membership called More Relaxing, Less Taxing. And it's a private membership group, and it includes software and strategy. So I can send you the link.
Is it morerelaxinglesstaxing.com?
More Relaxing. Yeah, you can find it there. Yes. otbtax.com, courtneyeppstax.com. You can find it. Yes. But that will allow you. Well, I got it everywhere.
People are going to be asking, and I'm like, let me figure this out real quick.
Yes. So, and as you start getting bigger, you can use smaller softwares. I don't like QuickBooks Self-Employed. It sucks. Don't use it. If you're going to use something, go to QuickBooks Online. Deductors, okay. Xero, I don't like it very much, but I will tell you that once you get to a point where you're doing about $150,000 a year in gross income, you probably want to switch to QuickBooks Online. It's just probably the easiest way. And then as you continue to grow, you've got to keep track of a balance sheet. So one of the things that I will tell you, I've only ever had one client in 19 years be audited, which for those of you out there that say, oh, well, my accountant said I'm going to be audited if I claim something. In 19 years, guys, 19 years, one person, 19 years. Okay. That's absurd. It's not true. Stop believing stuff that's going to cost you money. But, the biggest thing that I had, this one client that was a hairdresser, she had a log. She had a mileage log. She had a ledger that she kept. And I told her she needed some sort of software. She didn't listen to me. She got audited. They disallowed all of her expenses. We went right back and put it in QuickBooks. We presented a profit and loss statement that matched a tax return, that then matched a general ledger, that then matched some bank statements and showed that it was reconciled. And they allowed all of the exact same expenses. So the moral of the story is that auditors are lazy. And if you just keep track of your stuff in a software and make it super simple for them, they barely even ask for any receipts at that point. So
I love it. So everybody will ask me, because I've been shouting you and what you've done for me off the roofs. Like, I'm telling, they're like, oh, what do I do with tax? I'm like, call Courtney. It's not just about the taxes, guys. It's the strategy. It's the strategy of what we don't know and that we've been told we couldn't do. And, hiring your kids and having the LLC and how much that can save right there, $6,000 just by having an LLC and treat it as an S Corp. Like, that's so huge. And here we are, continuing to change lives with home-based business, changing our lives. But then at the end of the year, when it comes tax time, I feel all of you guys come in and we're all stressed, right? We're stressed out. I mean, and here I've never felt stressed working with you, because it's like, you're like, we got this, girl. Weirdly enough, I said I got this, but you've said it like, it's all good. We got this, girl. We'll figure this out. It's not a big deal. We'll make this work. But the biggest thing is as you continue to grow, and even if you feel stressed out, and this is something I want to share with you guys. If you feel stressed out about doing your bookkeeping or keeping track of that stuff, this is the first time, no joke, in all the years, I've been a business owner since 2006. This is the first time I've ever had a bookkeeper, and it has been the absolute best thing and the best tax write-off I've ever in my life, ever had, because it's taken so much stress off of me, and it's been a blessing. So you guys, if you are stressing about taxes and you don't have a home-based business, well, you need a home-based business.
Yes.
And if you're stressing, you need to talk to this woman.
I had somebody, you know, today that made over $500,000 a year as a W-2 employee. And, you know, all I had to say was, you need to start a business, find a business. You know, they're thinking about doing real estate. So I'm like, okay, well, you need to become a real estate professional, which is a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort. And, you know, whereas building a side hustle, home-based business, whatever, you can spend 3 to 5 days a week, 45 minutes a day building that business, and per the IRS, you're attempting to earn income that way. And or the other thing was for them to invest a ton of money into something called a conservation easement, which is literally giving money to give land to the government. So that's it. As a W-2 employee, I'm like, that's all I got for you. Start a business, you know, become a real estate professional, spend a ton of money in real estate, which is not necessarily where I would go at this point in life, and then give money to the government. So
we got a couple more questions that are super good. Well, Tabitha, the software, go to otbtax.com and you can see all the stuff she recommends there. But if you use your vehicle for personal, direct sales business, and realtor business, how do you split that out? Like, let's just talk about the vehicle. Like, that's a big deal too.
So I don't even know that I would split it out. I mean, you would be better off to more than likely, depending on your income, go ahead and get an LLC, put both of the real estate and the direct sales underneath the LLC. And so you don't have to keep track of two different sets of books. I mean, because that gets way confusing. I don't have time for that. You know, and I have clients that have like 5 companies, and I'm like, oh my God, just stop, because you can't keep track of anything. It's insane. But anyway, you know, as far as the vehicle goes, you can either write off actual expenses or you can write off mileage. Mm-hmm. And so before 2018, before January 1st, 2018, before the new tax law changes, it was almost always better to do mileage, which was 58 cents a mile. Now you can depreciate your car, which you could do it before, but the depreciation increased 5 times. So you can literally write off what used to take 18 years to write off a $50,000 BMW, now can be done in 5.3 years. So huge, huge difference. And then if you buy a vehicle over 6,000 gross vehicle weight, like a Suburban or a Land Rover or Jeep Cherokee, you know, I think that one's over 6,000, then you can actually take 100% tax deduction in the first year that you buy it, up to your net income. So you can not only depreciate the vehicle, but you get to take off the interest on the vehicle. You get to write off the, you know, car washes, the repairs and maintenance, the oil changes, the gas, all that stuff can be written off based on your percentage of business use. And one of the things I'll tell you is that you need to focus on attempting to get to 60% business use, because that is a huge, huge difference in depreciation as opposed to 50% or lower. If it's under 50% business use, you can only write off mileage.
Yeah. No, I love that. And yeah, Escalades are also on that because my truck is over 6,000 pounds. So you just got that's the biggest thing. I remember them saying, get a vehicle over 6,000 pounds. I'm like, okay, I can do that. One last question. Can she also help with being behind on taxes?
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the things that we, and I lost your picture, so I'm trying to find you. You do see me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. My tax software popped up and said it was time to log in, and I don't want to work anymore. So, oh God, it's crazy around here. I've done 45 tax returns today. So yes, we can go backwards and we can amend and find money. I mean, we've done it for Natasha. We've done it for, I would say, hundreds of people just this past year. I probably spend more time amending tax returns on a daily basis throughout the year than I do actually preparing original returns, because people just don't know. And guys, I'll tell you, I wish to God I could find a person that knew what I knew about taxes that actually did tax returns, because the people that know what I know, all they do is teach. All they do is educate and teach tax strategy, like Sandy Botkin, like Mark Culler. You know, he wrote a book called What Your CPA Isn't Telling You. It's not that accountants are lying to you. It's they don't know, right? They don't understand or comprehend, especially the network marketing industry or the home-based business industry. You know, as an accountant, I don't need to market. You know, people aren't, I'm not going to a coffee shop and meeting somebody to talk to them about their accounting. One, it's very private, right? And so, you know, we're just not going to meet at a coffee shop, out to dinner at night and doing a presentation on taxes. So nobody shows up.
No.
So it's just, they just don't comprehend the industry. And that's what ends up costing so much in taxes. So the strategy piece is so crucial, but people don't realize it. And then they're like, well, Courtney, why doesn't everybody tell us this? Because they're taught by the government. We go to college, we're taught by the government. Okay. They don't teach us tax strategy. I didn't even learn how to prepare a tax return when I was in college. And I went to college for 5 years. Okay. When I got out, I did exactly what my CPA told me to do and nothing else. And it was literally go back and look and see what this person did last year and do it that way. And when I asked questions, I would literally be directed to this room full of books and they would say, your answer is here. And it was like 10 feet high of books. And I'm like, I'm not gonna look this stuff up. Let me go Google it. And that's exactly what I did. And I mean, I was 19 years old doing taxes for $50 million companies. I'm not even playing. Like Burrs and Chapin in Myrtle Beach, they own everything in Myrtle Beach. I did their tax return when I was 19. I was still in college. That's scary. I don't even know what their tax return. And then the partner looked at it for 30 minutes. So, I mean, what I would tell you is that the lack of knowledge in this industry is, one, we're taught by government employees in college. Two, the continuing education is mandated by the government. So there are no tax strategy classes to implement. And so a lot of accountants don't even believe half the stuff that I say. Yeah. So, I mean, I get attacked all the time and I'm like, did you read the tax code? Because if you go read the tax code, it'll tell you everything that I'm saying. Because I can tell you what, legally, morally, and ethically, I am not going to jail to save you money. I'm not going to get in trouble to save you money. I'm not going to jeopardize my livelihood to save you money. No. But what I am going to do is tell you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And so I believe that that's what we have fed into, is these little tiny myths that have turned into costing us tens of thousands of dollars over our lifetime.
Yes.
My whole purpose in life is just to share why, you know, those myths are not true, and to show you the tax code and to find more money so that we can free up more money so we can feed more children, we can free more children, and then I can get you guys to spend more money on helping me feed children and freeing more children. So she's a win.
The one cool thing about Courtney is every dollar you spend, she feeds a child. And how many children are you up to right now?
We're at 8,000 a day, every day, 8,000 servings every day. And then we started freeing children through Operation Underground Railroad. Last Saturday, we actually added that at a Tony Robbins event. And, you know, this month or this past month, we were able to free 9 children from human trafficking. And so I didn't realize that you can actually buy a child for $10,000 to harvest their organs now. And so guys, they're just things that we just don't know about. Like, I mean, there's just some bad stuff going on. So you can free a child for $1,200. And so we gave $25,000 last Saturday at a benefit event for Tony Robbins. And, you know, I felt led to start doing that. So for every $25,000 we bring in, we're now freeing a child. And then every dollar we bring in, we're feeding children. But because of the way that we give, it's 100% tax deduction. So it's a cost of goods sold item, and it's not a charitable contribution. So that's a huge deal as a business owner, to be able to give back, but to be able to actually get benefit from giving back, because most people, 96% of Americans, don't ever get any benefit from charitable contributions. So I'm trying to educate the population as we continue to stop giving to charities. I want to be able to help people understand, like, that's what you need to do. And see, and I just got to share this. So this will be the last thing. You can ask me what you want. But we went from making, I remember the first time we gave, it was for 11,000 servings, I believe is what it was. And we didn't have the money to write that check. And I wrote the check and I gave it to Sam Castor to feed these children. And I'm like, the check, everything will work out and we'll have the money in the bank when he cashes it. And the next week I got a $25,000 check from the IRS that we've been waiting on for 3.5 years for a refund check. And, the next time we gave, it was like I didn't have enough money and I gave and we got like $5,000 from somebody else. It was insane. And so now we're able, and that was 11,000 servings or 15,000 in a month. Now we're up to 250,000 servings a month. And things change. Life gets different when you have the ability to give at the rate that we do. It's not about how much money we make. It's about how many children can we feed, because there's never enough, because every 6 seconds a child dies from malnutrition. And so it has become my mission and my purpose. I don't take on clients to make more money. It has nothing to do with that. And we would have stopped a long time ago taking on clients, because the money is not the purpose. And see, I think that's what I love about network marketing. It's not about the money most of the time. It's about helping more people. And so you get so excited because you just want to help more people. And so many people get that confused. Oh, well, you're just money hungry. No, I'm trying to help everybody. I'm trying to help everybody have exactly what I have. And so, I work a lot. I work about 18 hours a day now, but I'm creating a legacy for my children. I'm feeding children. I'm freeing children. I'm finding money for people. I'm changing the world. And that's what I was put on this earth to do. So
I love it. I love it. Well, you guys, I know there's some people asking, how do we contact you guys? Just go to otbtax.com. Sign up for a tax strategy call. You will talk to Courtney. Like you're asking, will I get to talk to Courtney? Yes. She does what, 10 of those a day or more?
14. Every day.
Every day. And it starts with the strategy, because that's where you start to realize what you personally, we can talk all night about all the things, but until she asks you a couple questions, then she's like, oh, we can fix this. Like, we need to fix this. Yeah. And, she was just sharing with me, you just heard how many children they're feeding and freeing. But on that other wall back there, that's like 700 returns that she has to do. So like she said, she's not looking for new clients, but she's here for a reason. Her mission, her purpose is bigger than being a tax strategist. It's so huge that I wanted to share her with you all. But also, if you are not part of a home-based business and you are paying and you're just a W-2 and you've been thinking about it, seriously, go back to the very beginning of this and listen to what she just said about freeing up $4,000 to $8,000 by being in a home-based business, attempting. That doesn't mean you had to make an income. Attempting to make an income and then start making some money and change some lives. So, Courtney, you got anything last to share with everybody?
I think that's it, guys. I appreciate you, Natasha. Natasha is amazing. And I can't even remember where we met at this point, but we've been able to speak.
No, we met when you got on an airplane, then you got on a taxi, and then you got on a boat, and then you got on a horse and buggy.
Oh, yeah, the top summit. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's so great, guys. One of the things I do want to say is that you meet the most amazing people in this industry, in the network marketing industry, and you get to hang out with them and you get to travel with them and do things that you would never be able to do. And then along the way, it's all tax deductible. It's just stupid crazy. You would be brain dead not on a home-based business. That's the last thing I got to say. I hope you guys have an amazing night.
Thank you. Thank you, Courtney. Bye, everyone.